Back in June of 2021, I came across an intriguing demo during the Summer Game Fest from Dutch developers Black Cube Games. The demo impressed me a lot, and I've been waiting to play and review the full game ever since. Originally scheduled to be released in the spring, the title was released in July, with so little fanfare that I completely missed its arrival on Xbox. My big question though is, was it worth the wait? Join me as I try to find the answer to that question in the Xbox era review of the Tale of Bistun. Described as a story-driven isometric action-adventure game based on a tragic story from Persian legend, it has a striking visual aesthetic. It's not groundbreakingly stunning to look at, but it is of high quality considering how small the development team is, and along with the amazing traditional musical score, creates an atmosphere that works perfectly to convey the tale being told. Waking up with no memory of who he is, a stone carver sets off to discover his identity and uncover his past. The mountain he finds himself on has been blighted, and he's required to battle the now hostile local wildlife and release trees from the supernatural crystal that is squeezing the life out of them. Whilst jumping between this and a realm of lost memories, the almost familiar whisper of an anonymous narrator constantly pleads with him to tunnel further into the mountain. Will this reveal the truth about his situation, or does he risk coming face to face with the terrifying adversary known as Bistun? Not wanting to give away any spoilers, I will leave players to find that out for themselves. The source material is very highly regarded in Persian culture and is treated with the respect that it deserves. The story narration is great, in fact. All of the voice acting is of such a high standard that it's easy to get swept up in the story that's being told. The environmental soundtrack delivers to such a high standard that it's possible to hear the wind rustling through the leaves of the trees, the squawks of exotic birds, and the wandering of animals that solely appear in the background as decoration. As briefly already mentioned, the musical score is something else that caught my attention on numerous occasions. The range of traditional Persian music on display throughout the game is really impressive and could compete with the offerings of far larger developers. For a small indie game, the all-around experience delivered is well worth the relatively small price tag of the title. In my opinion, this would fit very well into Game Pass if it is brought to the attention of the right people at Xbox. Gameplay consists of traversing the landscape and battling foes in what is described as fast-paced tactical melee combat. The fighting is simple, being based on 2 buttons, but it is fun. Starting with only 2 carving axes, you can soon progress to a more powerful pickaxe and eventually a heavy-duty weapon that I like to refer to as MC Hammer. Enemies encountered range from small ghouls and carrion birds to knights with spears, ogres, grenadiers, and more. Progress is rewarded with a powerful active ability for each weapon type, which becomes increasingly required as the number of enemies being faced multiplies. A cooldown is built into these special attacks, so running, dodging and rolling soon becomes second nature whilst waiting for that meter to refill. It's worth noting that weapons can only be changed at certain locations and cannot be switched at will. Personally, I stuck with the heavier weapons after I acquired them. Following a brightly coloured bird around the mountain who shows you where to go next, it's a requirement to traverse ledges and slides, carve your memories into rock faces and create statues of the main characters from your past. Portals need to be discovered within the mountain, and these are used to transport the stone carver to an alternate realm known as the Celestial Revelations realm of lost memories and forgotten souls. Removing the crystalline blight from these areas kicks off the retelling of memories with the aid of statues. Once these have been completed, players are transported back to the mountainside. Eating an enchanted pomegranate or carving into the mountainside itself at the end of a level rewards the player with a cutscene showing a memory of the past. These are delivered in a format that uses stars in the night sky, which is both original and effective. When pieced together, all of the recovered memories paint a concise picture of what's going on. When all is finally revealed after a well-designed 3-stage boss battle, players are asked to make a very important choice and the game finishes. I was so interested in what had come to pass, I went back to make the other choice just to see what would happen. This was easy enough to do without much replay being required, which indicates that the developers did want people to go back and see both endings. Rounding things off, the Tale of Bistun left me feeling very impressed. Sure, there are bigger and better games out there and the gameplay mechanics are limited and slightly repetitive, but for the price, this game is well worth checking out. It's a classic tale that's worth hearing and is presented in a way that does not outstay its welcome. It is rare for a piece of Persian culture to be celebrated using the medium of video games, and this is a piece of work that Black Q Games should be proud of. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video review, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and hey, why not ring that notification bell so that we can let you know when we're dropping some fresh content. And we'll see you next time.